Hey everybody, this is Schrodinger Cat. Can't sleep because I discovered something really cool. So instead of falling asleep, I have to make a tutorial. I've discovered a way to make any shape sit flat on the floor, any single voxel shape. Doesn't matter what it looks like. So basically, it's extremely simple. All you do, and you might have seen this before with Roddy's stretched voxel reactor that he used. You can do it with this. So what you do is you take the voxel and you have to make it one voxel space away from it. They can't touch. It doesn't matter if they're more than one voxel space, they just should not be touching. You take the line tool, and you don't want them touching because you don't want it to deform. So you take the line tool and you draw a line to it. And what I've done is I've reduced this size, this side of the stretch voxel here to voxel sized, so it'll sit flat. And it was a completely maximum size stretch voxel. Here is a microvoxel, so I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it next to itself, or try to. It's always the hunt for the perspective in this game. I think that's good. Yeah, doesn't matter if they're real far apart, they just can't be touching. So now I'm going to draw the line tool, and all I'm doing is I'm touching one to the other with the line tool, and as you can see I'm kind of growing the microvoxel along one side. So now if I put it in the selection box, one edge of it is touching the edge of the selection box, and the other is at the center point of the voxel box where the microvoxel was. It's still one voxel. It has just gained more volume. And now I can rotate it, sit it flat on the floor, and you can see it's not deforming the floor. And I've put this up here because I got tired of not being able to see my feet. So you see with the selection box over it, the blue, if there's any white showing, that would be the ground poking up through it. But since it is not deforming. It's a dirty voxel, so it's not completely straight. If you see any irregularities, that's why. And just to show with this one, there's no deformity. But wait, there's more. This is an offset quarter voxel. I showed a video on how to make these little suckers earlier. They're great because you can sit them flat on the floor and still connect them to other surfaces. But now you can just make them voxel length along one side by taking the line tool. And interestingly enough, it's not making one of them completely. My endpoint one, I had not seen this behavior before, my endpoint one is oddly shaped, and that's probably a function of the line tool itself. My first one seems to be fine. It now sits, if I can see it, and show you, it sits completely within the voxel box on all sides and one corner. And I will also paste it here. And it's not drawing the ground up, so it's not deforming the ground in any way. But wait, there's more. Let's say I want to use a really stupid shape, and for whatever reason I've decided to make this shape be the base of my chair. I don't know why, but I just really wanted to have this shape sit flat on the ground. You can. So you just, again, put them far apart. You get to choose what side of it. As with any of these, you always get to choose what side you want to have reduced. So I could attack it from the side here, or I could do, whoops, I can apparently draw on it with itself. So I'm going to flatten it from the top, and then I'll also flatten it from this side just to see what happens, because I've not actually done this. As you can see, it's flattening it. The top still retains the shape that it had. So let me zoom in a little. The top still retains the shape it had. It looked like this shape stayed a little nicer looking this time. And you could put several shapes in a row, and I imagine you get a little different result between the four. If I put 4 in a row, for instance, actually probably get better results. Let's do that. So I don't know if you notice the line tool doesn't like to behave very regularly, so it's probably a good idea to do more than one if I'm going to use a weird shape like this. And all it's doing is it's basically flattening one side, and you have like a choice of 4 different shapes. The top, as you see though, is still a hexagon like the original shape. It's just flattened one corner of it. It's made a pentagon, which is really cool. Now I can make pentagons. I've never actually been able to make those and have them look nice, but now I know how. And it also sits flat on the edge of this voxel box that I made here. That deforming. Let's get more shapes. Let's find the weirdest, stupidest shape. Okay, this is pretty weird and stupid. Don't know why I'd ever want to connect this to a floor, but yeah, that would be ridiculous. I would never try to do that. I would just connect it some other way and not even try. So let's do like I did with the hexagon there and put a couple different shapes. You know what? I bet it has to do with the fact that I'm not going to the east. I've literally not played around with this at all. I just thought it up like while I was trying to fall asleep. So just bear with me while I experiment. Okay, so now I'm going to be drawing it to the east, so I should get very nice, kind of predictable results. I think this is the most obnoxious side of it. Probably maybe this side is. Let's see. I'm just trying to find the most difficult side that would be difficult to stick on a floor, have it look pretty. As you can see, I've flattened it off to make it voxel shaped on that side, so now it will sit flat on the floor. Just like with everything else, now I can predict what it's going to make it look like. I'm running out of room. I guess I'll stick it on the wall here. I'll press escape and undo my selection. That's totally what I meant to do. Now if you wanted to have that misshapen piece of junk on your wall, don't tell my husband he made that shape. Now you too can put it flat on your wall and be a proud owner of that thing. I can't stop experimenting. Okay. The weirdest shape I can think of is... okay, that shape's pretty obnoxious. I feel like I've discovered the skeleton key for a landmark, which is silly, but still, that's what it feels like to me, so let me have my moment. Okay, so yeah, that shape's ridiculous. Now notice it is like completely stupid. I would never in a million years try to attach this to anything. And in fact, I have no idea what it's going to do on this one. So let's find out. What? Okay. That makes a different shape that I've actually seen. So that would be an instance where you could attach it, but it would... I mean, of course, you wouldn't be able to put this on the floor and not have it deform any way at all. So it's going to deform the shape or it's going to deform the floor. You don't really get a choice. Maybe if I rotate it So of course, let's have some common sense here. The shape triangulates. So when you rotate it, it actually changes the shape it presents. It'll change the shape it renders depending on the direction it's facing. So it looks like that from one direction. When you rotate it on the green axis, it looks like another, which makes them like not very useful because it'll actually change shape if you rotate the entire thing it's pasted into. So you can like change all kinds of stuff without meaning to in your template. Okay, here we go. And it does the same thing. Did it a couple more times to make sure it's as flat as possible. It seems like 3 seems to be all you need. Ta-da! I substantially changed the shape on that one though, so I don't think that counts. I mean, that to me just doesn't count. Okay. Now I'm gonna get a shape that I use for sculpting, but always I'm wanting a way to connect it to something because it doesn't. As you can see, I'm a little obsessed with hexagons. And of course it's not showing. Oh, because it's called hex. There it is. This is a shape that for a while it looked like there are ability to template objects that were less than 1 voxel in volume was gone. Oh, I didn't realize I was actually streaming too. Whoops. I was just trying to record it. Oh, I didn't realize I was actually streaming too. Whoops. I was just trying to record it. Anyway, yeah, so please don't teleport into me because a lot of times you can crash people by teleporting in on them. You literally crash their party. So let's try it with the hex. Normally I just have the record button I press on OBS, and apparently I was so excited that it just like pushed all the buttons. Whoops. Oh well. I'm too excited to stop and push buttons on my stream or OBS. Okay. So I'm not changing anything. So let's try it on this shape. Bye bye. Yep. It's no longer my perfect hexagon. Wow, it deforms this one. At least you get your pick. So if I really needed to connect my perfect little hexagon to the floor, I use it to make like dresses and stuff like that when I make sculptures, hair and nonsense. And then that is how I would do it. I can't see what I'm even rotating. It's such a weird shape now. And once again, I've managed to put so much crap in my way that I literally can't move around. Is that? I'm guessing. Nope. I'm just gonna rotate it this way. The shape is so ugly. Okay. Oh my god, it's so bright here. But I think this shape is the one shape that does not do it. Unless I just didn't rotate it right, which that's probably also the case. It's quite late here, I should be asleep. Yeah, this shape doesn't do it. Okay, so if oh wait, no. Is that right? No. Why do I have 50 million light orbs? There. There, okay. Nope, that one still won't do it. So I found one that won't do it. Apparently, if it is pitched and rolled, which this shape is, I'll get it out again so you can see it. I really wish the template menu, if anyone developer is watching this, didn't search for each letter, like by string, you know, for every single letter you put in. It's kind of like if I go to Amazon and I want to search for a book, it's going to search for every single letter in the string before I hit the search button. It's kind of, that's why it's so laggy. So this is the shape I was trying to flatten, and it is a very nice shape, but it does not want to conform to this little rule I found. And this can be probably attributed to, I don't know his name. Okay, Timma, you can add me. Anyone who wants to add me can. I'm never really doing anything particularly interesting. I'm usually trying to see, what does a smooth tool do in this direction? What does the line tool do in this direction? It's really never very exciting to pop in on me. I have people like hop in thinking I'm going to be doing something amazing, and I'm like farting around with the add tool, you know. Just, so I'm not a very exciting person anyway. So yeah, the one rule then, I guess, is if you're going to do this, you have to be aware of what side you're going to try and attach it to. You know, you probably can't attach like any old gosh darn thing you want to the ground. But if you have a shape that's like just a little bit deformy, but not too much. Let's see if I can get that. Look, I made Voltron's head. If it's a little bit deformy, it's not going to work. Now I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so if the shape is pitched and rolled, it will be difficult to get this to work because it has too many edges of the voxel to attract the ground to it. So it's going to pull the ground up towards it on a part you probably didn't manipulate. And there's other ways to change that, but I mean, the easy solution to that is, you know, don't try to attach shapes like this to the ground. That's the easy solution. But it works for so many other things that if you're pretty tolerant in what it does to your shape, you know, you don't expect it to remain a three-pointed star while being embedded in the ground and not deform the ground, then you'll be very pleased with the results, especially when you're trying to do things such as connect microvoxels to strings. And that's pretty cool, Fugazi. And then let me, since you guys are on and willing to watch me screw around, I'm like way too excited to go to sleep now. I'm kind